Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential, and today I'm bringing you lots of inspiration for jackets and coats that you could sew. It's not as tricky as you might think, so let's get started. Now, recently I have been making, well, I say I've been making quite a few jackets. I've made 2 jackets recently and I've really thoroughly enjoyed both projects, and it just sort of has been inspiring me really to think about doing more jacket making and possibly coat making as well, for a number of reasons. So some of the things I've loved about making jackets are you don't have to be as overly pedantic about the fit. I mean, okay, if you're making a very fitted jacket, fine, but generally a lot of outerwear will have quite a lot of wearing ease built into it. In other words, it is meant to be bigger than our bodies. It is meant to be able to fit other clothes underneath it, and therefore you haven't got to worry so much about the fit. And what that means is you can then really throw yourself into the really fun bit, which is the sewing, in my opinion. I know some people love fitting, but for me, with a lot of projects like dresses and blouses and things like that, quite often I have to spend a bit of time, a bit of brain power thinking about fit and what I'm going to do about it and whether this bit will fit and do I need to make any adjustments. And I'm not a massive fan of that. I do it, you know, because I want to get a good fit out of my garments, and I don't go over the top with it, but I'm always desperate to just crack on with the sewing. And I feel like with the simple jackets that I've made recently, because the fit isn't such a concern, I was able to do that. And then I think you can use your brain power and, you know, your energy to then enjoy learning new techniques, trying new things out. You know, I've kind of like mastered the whole turning the lining through on a jacket now and really enjoyed doing that. So yeah, I just feel really inspired. And the other thing that I love about outerwear as well is how much wear you will get out of it. You know, it is something that you will wear with lots and lots of different things. It sort of finishes your outfit off, doesn't it? And yeah, I just think there are a lot of reasons to get stuck in and have a go at making jackets and coats. So I've picked out some sort of different styles and some inspiration from the high street and various different shops that I've seen, and I'm doing a little roundup of ideas to inspire you to possibly have a go at sewing some outerwear this autumn. I just want to say that it's actually one of the hottest days of the year in the UK today when I'm filming this, so I'm not like, you know, it's probably not the perfect day to be doing it, and I am sweltering in this jacket that I'm wearing, so I will be taking it off, but yeah, it just, I think, you know, it'll be released as we're getting towards autumn. And the other thing I love about outerwear as well is it can be a slow sewing project where I mean, the ones I made actually came together very quickly, and that's what I need. But if you're somebody who's got more time on your hands, you want to learn some different techniques, you want to take your time and you want to really embrace a bit of slow sewing, it's the perfect time of year to do that, to plan those autumn projects when those first few dark, cold days come, to have something lovely to really get your teeth into, and just really sort of embrace it over that sort of colder season. So the first idea I want to share with you, I'm going to show you what I've made, and then there'll be some inspiration pictures that I found, you know, just from shops and different things. But it's the classic bomber jacket, but in a bit of a jazzy fabric. You don't have to go jazzy if you're not up for it, but personally I love a bit of a sort of jazzy fabric, and I made the Fibre Mood Judith jacket in this beautiful animal print denim from Fabric Godmother, which we sell on our website. We sell it in the brown colourway that I'm wearing and the grey. I used the zip was off our website as well, the scuba that I used for the band at the back and the collar were also off our website, and the anti-static polyester lining that it's lined with is off our website too. So there is going to be a full review of this pattern on the channel. It might be before or after this video, I'm not sure, but I waxed lyrical about this one. I made it, but pretty much sewed the whole thing in a day. I felt that it was a fantastic pattern. It is supposed to be a button down pattern at the front, so I did adapt it slightly and replace the buttons with a zip. I just took 3/4 of an inch off the centre front, but I discuss all of that in the review video. But I just absolutely love this pattern, the design details, the construction, it just comes together so well. It looks so professionally made. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. I loved that project. So I'm going to have to take it off now because I am sweltering. But you could do what I did and make it in that fabric and with those trimmings and what have you. But I also saw lots of inspiration for sort of floral designs and jacquardy designs, and I just thought, you know, with the winter season coming, going out in the evenings, you know, it always feels great, doesn't it, if you've got a really special coat or jacket to put out on in the evening. If you're going somewhere nice, going out for dinner or going for a drink or to the cinema even, you know, sometimes you get a little bit dressed up and then you might think, oh, I've only got like my coat that I wear every day. I don't really want to wear that. And I always think at those times it's nice to have something a little bit more special to put on. So the fabric I thought you could use is this beautiful floral jacquard fabric, which is very similar to some of the bomber jackets I saw when I was doing my research. It's got this beautiful blue colourway. I love the floral design. And then you could use like a navy blue or a black contrasting fabric for the collar and the hem on the Judith jacket, and I just thought that would be a really nice thing to have in your winter wardrobe. The other option I've got along that same theme is this beautiful autumnal coloured cotton fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. A friend of mine made a jacket in this last year or earlier in the year. It looked totally beautiful. It's so pretty. Both of these fabrics as well, if you're not up for the outerwear, you could just make a simple A-line skirt in them, pair them with black tights, a black jumper and boots, and I just thought they were really lovely options too. Then on to the next jacket, and I'm going to show you another one of my makes. You may remember this if you watch our channel every week, but I made this probably a couple of months ago, or maybe it was more like springtime when I made this. But this is a McCall's jacket. It's one of those sort of classic Chanel style jackets. It's got princess seams, I think. Yeah, it has got princess seams. I remember doing them. This one's fully lined as well. It's got princess seams at the back as well. And again, I just felt that this pattern came together really easily. I've really enjoyed wearing it. I wouldn't wear it with these black jeans. I'd wear it with my lighter coloured jeans or some indigo jeans. But that was a really nice project to do as well. I think we've still got this sort of pale pink check fabric on the website, and then the pale pink lining fabric that I lined it with as well. The only thing I would say about that pattern, having worn the jacket, is I would say just add a pleat at the centre back on the lining. They didn't do that on the pattern. So all you would need to do is slash your pattern piece and open it up maybe like an inch, and then just create a pleat at the top of the neckline so that you've just got a little bit more wearing room on the lining on that jacket. That would be my top tip for that one. But other than that, it came together really easily. It's a really cute little jacket. You've got no fastenings, no buttons, nothing like that to worry about. It's just open at the front, and it's just really easy to chuck on over a t-shirt with your jeans. It's McCall's 8370, and it also comes with a little mini skirt as well, which is really cute. So you can make like a nice little cord set. I think that fabric is still available. But also some of the inspiration I saw just like nice, quite like dark boucle ones, which I've got one a bit like that. Like I've got a black one with a sort of check on it. And I just think, yeah, having those in your wardrobe as well, again, very, very versatile, very, very wearable, very easy to chuck on over dresses, skirts, blouses, trousers, jeans, all of those sorts of things. So yeah, I saw quite a few of those about when I was doing my research, and I thought you could either use the pink check fabric that I used if you like that one. We've got another nice pink option. I really love this fabric. It's a lovely textured fabric. I'm not sure, I think it might be a cotton, but it's like a sort of textured effect, and it's, you know, a heavyish weight fabric suitable for jacket making, and I thought that particular pattern would look lovely sewn up in that. And then the other fabric we've got, which reminded me of the inspiration I found in the shops, is just this sort of boucle type fabric. It's a coating fabric, so it's a bit of a heavier weight, but I think it would work for that pattern as well. And yeah, you could just line that with our anti-static polyester fabric again. If you do need samples of any of our fabrics, just drop us an email. We're always happy to send those out to you free of charge if you just want to feel the fabric and have a look and feel the weight and stuff. And also, all of our fabrics are priced by the metre, they're not by the half metre, so you'll find that a lot of them are very reasonably priced, and the links to our website where you can find them all, they're in the description below. And then the next source of inspiration, I haven't actually made one of these, but just wool check coats, they always seem to be there, don't they? I thought rather than going for trends in this video, I thought I just want to think of nice things that people can make, and yeah, I just kind of had a look around and I thought like classic wool check coat always seems to be there in some sort of guise throughout the years. I spotted an incredibly expensive designer one in a sort of mustard colourway. I mean, we are talking thousands of pounds for this coat. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, we have almost identical, if not identical, fabric to that on our website. So I'm going to share that one with you. And then I also saw some lovely red check coats as well. And red is going to be very popular again this year, whether you're following the trends or you're not following the trends. Personally, I love a bit of red. I just love that, especially at that sort of autumn, winter time of year. But yeah, I saw some really lovely red and blue check coats as well. And I was like, oh, actually, we've got a fabric very, very similar to those too. So I've got 3 pattern ideas for you for this one, and then I'll show you the fabrics. The first one is the Oslo coat by Tessuti Fabrics. And I think Vicky, our team member, made this last year. Wasn't long after she started working here. And she had some lovely wool fabric at home that she'd had in her stash for some time, and she spotted the Oslo coat and she was like, oh, finally come across the right pattern for that fabric, and she whipped it up in no time. She did a brilliant job of it. I wish she was in today and I could have got her to show you the coat, but she's not in work today, she's on holiday today. But yeah, she made an absolutely beautiful version of the Oslo coat, and you know, really enjoyed it as a project. So yeah, I know I've got her sort of vouching for this pattern. It's a lovely relaxed fit looking coat. It's got a wide sort of collar that comes down the front, a single fasten button on one side. I think it's got raglan sleeves, so they're kind of nice and easy to fit as well. When we're talking about this easier to fit thing with the outerwear, a raglan sleeve generally I always find is a lot easier to fit than a set-in sleeve. It's easier to sew than a set-in sleeve as well. And again, you're going to have a nice bit of wearing ease in this coat. It's not supposed to be super fitted and super tight. So that was one of the options for this particular look. The next option is another Tessuti pattern. If you haven't tried Tessuti patterns, I highly recommend them. I've definitely made one, the lowest dress, which is one of my favourite ever patterns, but I'm sure I've made some more of theirs. But the styling, just the design details, just everything about them, they're just chic and understated, easy to wear. They're just beautiful patterns, and we stock the full range on our website, so do check them out via the links below. But yeah, the Richmond coat is another Tessuti design. This one's got a collar and a lapel. It's got welt pockets. It's got a double fastening at the front, so it's not such a clean finish as the Oslo coat, which just has one single button at the front. It makes more of a feature of the buttons at the front. And then a very simple cut at the back. It's got a dropped sleeve on this one, so although it's not a raglan, it is dropped, so again, you know, easier to sort of fit in that area. You've not got to worry about getting that armhole spot on. Easier to sew as well generally, because you're not kind of easing as much fabric in usually to that sort of style of armhole. So yeah, that was my other choice. And then finally we have the Closet Core Phoebe coat, which is another really contemporary wool coat pattern. You can make it in 2 different lengths. You can go for the sort of mid-thigh length or the just past the knee length. It's double breasted, it's got quite a dramatic collar and lapel, a drop sleeve again, nice bit of wearing ease again. I think this one's fully lined as well, the same as the others. Yes, they're all fully lined, but generally the instructions I find are really good on those patterns, especially the Closet Core instructions are very, very good, and very often there's like accompanying tutorials you can find online for her patterns as well. So the 2 fabrics I wanted to share with you if you fancy having a go at one of those were this beautiful navy and red check with the white sort of thin check running through it as well. I thought that was very, very similar to lots of the inspiration designs that I spotted on when I was doing my research. And then that super expensive designer coat that I was talking about. We have got more of this downstairs, but I mean, I don't know if you can spot the difference, but I couldn't. I just thought it looked pretty much exactly the same. So yeah, that would be another nice option if you wanted to have a go at one of those this autumn, winter. And then the next inspiration that I came across was it's something that's been on my radar for many, many years, and again, never really seems to disappear, always seems to be there in some sort of guise. But just a lovely velvet blazer. I know velvet's going to be very, very popular this winter. And again, just going back to that evening wear, you know, having a lovely jacket to put on that makes you feel really special. I just think that's such a lovely thing to have in your wardrobe, and it's one of those things that very often we won't buy because you think, oh, I won't wear it that often, or you might not make it because you think I won't wear it that often. But what I often find is those sorts of things, when I do buy one or I do make one, when that time comes around and I go, oh, I've got just the thing, I know what I can wear for that. I love it, you know, it is, I think that's the point of some of these items as well. Like if they're special and they're a sort of timeless thing that, you know, will always be there in some shape or form, then why not make it? Why not have that really special, lovely thing hanging in your wardrobe ready for the right occasion? So yeah, it was sort of like blazers, velvet blazers. We've got quite a few different colours of velvet on the website, but we've got this sort of, it's a raspberry colour and it's a velvet, but it's not a stretch velvet. The other one's a stretch velvet. I'll show you that in a minute, but I thought it would sew it beautifully into Simplicity 9825. And this is a pattern I've had my eye on for a long time. It's just a lovely contemporary shaped blazer. Again, nice loose fit, not overly fitted, so you haven't got to worry too much about that. You know, it's not supposed to be super fitted. There's lots of wearing ease on it. Just got that classic collar and lapel design. A double-breasted single fastening around about the waist, patch pockets, has got set-in sleeves by the look of it, but just a really lovely, easy to wear style. And yeah, definitely I really want to get around to making that because I just think it's such a lovely cut on that jacket. I always come back to it. And yeah, this is the beautiful raspberry velvet fabric, which I just absolutely love. It's so soft, so soft, and I just think the tone of the pink is really lovely as well. It's not too in your face, it's relatively understated. Gold jewellery and accessories would look beautiful against it. It would go with black, it could be worn with denim, you know, you could pair it with lots of different things. But yeah, very pretty fabric that deserves to be sewn up into something special. And then the other inspiration I had, again, along that sort of dress coat theme, I just think I've always loved this pattern, and it's Vogue 1990. And it's either a maxi coat or a just below the knee length coat. The option for it to fasten it with a bow, or there's like a hidden fastening. It's got quite a big lapel and a collar, long sleeves, and it's just a very classic, chic, Vogue-esque pattern. Absolutely beautiful, super sophisticated, and I just love the styling on the packet. I've always loved it. And again, just going back to that dress coat theme, you know, if you've got something to go to in the winter where you need to be really smart, you know, you want to feel great, you want to feel put together, you want to feel like you've got something special on, Vogue 1990 is the pattern for me. And the inspiration of the packet, the lady in the sort of multicoloured jacquard fabric, we have something really quite similar, and I thought you could do the same sort of thing with this amazing fabric, which again, a lot of these fabrics you could sew them up into like shift dresses, like A-line skirts if you don't want to do the jackets and the coats. But if you did want to really go for it and make something super special, I thought this fabric would be absolutely wonderful for it. So that was my choice for that one. And then finally, the other thing that I spotted, and another pattern that's always incredibly popular, were quilted jackets. And I spotted some faux leather quilted jackets, and I thought, oh, that's quite a nice, interesting idea actually. You know, we've seen lots and lots of quilted jackets in recent years in sort of like puffer jacket fabric and, you know, just sort of general like woven matte fabrics, that sort of thing. But I thought actually what you could do is you could take the Tamarack jacket, which is probably one of the most popular jacket patterns we've ever sold on the website. It's a Grey 9 Studios. People love it. People have been making this jacket, I'd say, for like getting on for 10 years. I think it's been around a long time, but every year people seem to love it. It's a really versatile pattern. You can put your own spin on it. You can use lots of different fabrics. You can buy pre-quilted fabric. You can quilt your own fabric. You know, you've got lots and lots of options to play around with. The neckline and the edges, the front edges and the hem, and then the sleeves are all finished with a binding. It's a quilted fabric on the bodice. You've got the option for snap fastenings, little welt pockets as well. I think they make it in 2 sizes now. We've got both on the website. You'll find links to all the patterns and fabrics below. But I thought you could use this quilted faux leather fabric, which we've had in the warehouse for a while, but it wasn't on the website, and I only realised the other day that had happened. But this is just such a cool fabric. We wanted to buy one from a supplier recently and it was just really expensive, but this one's really reasonably priced. I'm hoping the camera's picking it up, but it's quilted, it's faux leather, and then it's got the sort of wadding quilted into it, so it's going to be lovely and warm as well. And I thought you could use that to make a Tamarack jacket, or again you could make a really warm mini skirt with it if you wanted to, a little biker jacket, lots and lots of different options with that one as well. So just some ideas and inspiration to perhaps try something new this season, or perhaps you're a prolific jacket and coat maker, and if you are, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your top tips. One of my friends, Diane from Dream Cut Sew, she is on Instagram. She's a prolific coat and jacket maker, and she's made some beautiful things. So yeah, tell us in the comments what your thoughts are. But just remember the whole, like, you know, there's wearing ease designed into them, so they're not overly fitted. You can learn some new sewing techniques, push your sewing skills, do a nice slow sewing project where you really embrace the learning and doing something different. And yeah, I've got such a lot of pleasure out of those 2 projects that I showed you at the start of the video. So I hope I might have inspired some of you to do the same thing and have a go and see if you enjoy it too. If you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.